A lot of you are going to experience changes if you apply yourself to the things you'll be exposed to this week. All right, so I'm recording. You can never fail. My brother. You never fail. So that's a question. I'll drop it. I know. How many of you are here to? So there are three. Why are you here? Are you here to trade? Are you here to learn? Are you here to follow instructions? Type it on the chat. Because I like asking questions before I push. And I know some of you actually joined the session yesterday. Okay. There's actually still I think I still have a 45. I still have a $45 dollar. Was it 45? How much did I give to Philip? So today, Mr. Coach Victor actually just got himself $10 worth of XP because the first person that showed up in the class, he actually even showed up before me. All right, so so that is going to be going out. So I still have I still have $30 to give. So there's a question for yesterday's class that I'm going to ask. All right, so let me know those of you that was in the class for yesterday's session, and pardon those people who were not in the session. You're just probably coming in here or you're watching this. Okay, I love to do continuous learning. So I ask a question. Okay, are you here to learn? Are you here to earn, trade and earn, or are you here to follow instruction? The reason that's very, very important is the direction of your heart. We give room for the decisions of your hands. Okay, there's going to be an opportunity to learn. There's going to be an opportunity to earn. There's also going to be an opportunity to model follow instruction. You see the heart that comes to follow instruction, we learn, we earn. Okay, but there's a tendency that the heart that comes to learn, when there is no training, is empty. All right, the heart that comes to earn, when there is no training, is nothing. But there's always a gain for the heart that comes to follow instruction. All right, so that is one of the ways I tell you, pitch your frequency. So just like I told you, there are three stages of, how did I put it? Three things you want to do, growth phase you want to go through. All right, you want to be able to learn, you want to be able to earn. Okay, these are goals, three goals in this environment. Set the goal, your earning goal, your learning goal, and your growth goal. Now both your earning and your learning goals are all encompassing your growth goal. In fact, they are the measure of what accomplishment you're going to have in your earning, all right, and in your learning is going to actually be determined by your growth goal. Now, the thing is, a lot of people don't get in the journey of growth. They don't even know that they need to grow to learn. They need to grow to earn, but they are always pushed to earning. They're always pushed. That is why people people prioritize the lesser achievement of life and they drive all of the energies into lesser things. Okay, just like I said, there are four phases in learning: tactics, strategies, principles, and essence. You may not know, but you're hearing this. Someone tells you, oh, you can actually learn principles. When you learn principles, you'll find that the tactics and strategies are quite easy to assimilate, but it's all about a choice. But choices are not made well when you do not have information. That is why you get acquainted to classes like this. I'm going to tell you how to learn. I know one of my biggest goals in education, I do not teach you skills. I teach you how to learn skills, because people don't really know how to learn. They know what to learn. They're intentional about learning, but they don't know the how to learn, and if you can actually, take that time to model your learning curve template, it's really going to shape. It's the same time we're going to be spending here, but the person who has a right mindset to learning is going to get better. That's why I asked that question. Some people come with intention to learn. I'm going to train, but I have my own template. It's a Monday mindset. What am I doing first? I'm actually setting the right mindset for trading for the week. Mondays are actually dedicated for mindset and trading sessions. So set the right mind frame. So you hear things like this, oh, it brings you back to consciousness that this is what I'm supposed to do. All right. And before we get into it, okay. So did you guys get that one? Put 100 if you got that one. Be here to follow instruction. A student who truly learns is the one who is watery enough. You are like water. You come in and let the shape of the cup mold you. Let the shape of learning mold you because your water just fill in. So you can be poured anywhere and you take the shape of learning. You can take the shape of earning. You can take the shape of, all right, modeling. Does that make sense? All right. So how many of you were in yesterday's call? So quick question, that's up for $20. Are you guys ready? That's a $20. I have a $20 question. So that's the first trading you guys are going to trade now. To make money, you guys are here to earn, right? How many of how many of you are ready to earn? So so I'm going to be guiding. One of the things I'll be doing, as much as we're going to be trading, today I will get everyone introduced even before the summit. I'm going to show us the backstory to our vicious strategy, which is the London Breaker Sniper, as much as we're going to find setups to trade today. Hopefully, on Mondays, I'm not aggressive towards trading. On Fridays, I'm not aggressive towards trading. On Mondays, when I pitch my lenses into the market to see what the market has done. All right, I want to see how volume is arising. But if we see opportunities, I don't ignore my setups. I don't trade emotionally. Okay, I always have setup. So if a setup aligns, I will trade it. But I always like to look at it from the standpoint of being reserved. You understand? I have money to spend, but I want to spend it wisely as an investor. Okay, the market is not going to give me my setup. I'm going to find my setup in the market and I will store them. Okay, so the mindset of trading is you want to find what setup are you going to build as a trader. You only have one chance. Some of you have portfolio. Many of you that are coming in right now, you do not have the idea of portfolio. You only have the idea of one account looking for a trade. Okay, which is one of the major I'll call a lot of, it's like a beginner getting into learning and starting with a highway, with a Ferrari. You know the chances of what's going to happen. All right. So I tend to always like to break it down to things that would make you learn and earn excellently. So are you guys ready for the question or you're ready for the chat? Which should I do first? Be present, be accountable, be communicative. I just asked a question now. Is Daniela here? There was a Daniela in the call yesterday that I mentioned. Is Daniela here? I don't know Daniela, but I know there was a Daniela. Okay, Daniela is not here. All right. The question first. All right, beautiful. So Philip, make sure you remind me, okay, about your XP. Okay, I'll actually just do it on the live call. Now you can drop your username, okay, and I'm gonna send you was it $5 I sent yesterday? If I say I'm gonna give Coach BK $10, then actually I'm also supposed to give you $10. So the call yesterday housed great value. What were the different instructions that I gave? Yes, I trained, but I gave instruction. What were the instructions that I gave yesterday? Write them out. All right. So write them out. You're free to go look at your book. But I know the difference between learning. I'm not saying what you learned. I gave instructions yesterday. What were the different instructions that I gave yesterday? And the person that captures, even me, I do not know all of the instructions, but the learner knows. So if you capture it to the one who captured the instructions, if you say them, I'll know them. Okay. you got yourself an accountability coin. All right. So you guys type it out while I prepare. It's always very important to pay attention to every training. So I'll give you guys this. The most important thing, that's why I asked the question, are you coming here to follow instruction? If you have the mindset of following instruction, it means you are going to be attentive to what instructions. Am I correct? Okay, you see, that person who come in for instruction is going to always layer out, because the blueprint for every success is not layered in the information you're going to learn. It's layered in the instruction you're going to get in the training. Okay, I give you guys a take point. When you are in school and the lecturer is teaching you, okay, you can listen carefully. Every exam he's going to set is what he is training you on. In the syllabus, he pick his high points of training because of the exams he's setting. So if you pay attention to his training, you already know what he's going to say, because he cannot come and copy paste the syllabus to you. He's going to pick the things that he's setting. He's going to put more attention. So when you see him ask you question or give you instruction, give you homework, give you test, he's actually setting the exam. He's showing you the exam. Do you guys agree with me? So every instruction, go do this homework, go do this, is actually giving you the template of how you can pass these exams. I got that early in time. I don't play with instructions, okay? Because if someone gives you an instruction, that is actually the template of his growth model. I can teach you, I can take 10 hours to teach you, but that simple minute of instruction can carry a weight you may not be able to concentrate on in 10 hours, all right? I say, so, okay, none of you guys are thinking. Hmm. Now you guys are you're dropping nuggets rather than instruction. Some of you are dropping nuggets. I told you guys what to do. An instruction is an action point of what you should do. Okay. So I'm just gonna take, let's just take probably 3 minutes, and I'll close this in 3 minutes. Okay. And in 3 minutes. What are the things? So we went into a getting started session. Okay. What are the instructions that I gave in getting started? Yeah. Yeah, this is their money. So I actually promised a $50 for the yesterday, but because of the activity, they didn't quite click it. So this is a carryover. So if you're here, don't be bothered. Your time will come. And you can actually, if you can get it, you can get it. I actually I posted the recording, but it's impossible to watch the recording now. So, but this is also to give you that our classes are actually quite interesting. Our environment is an interesting one, okay? And this is also a training in itself. So many of you are going to leave this call coming next time. That for every you're not going to miss the instruction on this call, because you don't know when it's going. Now, I'm not doing it because I will always reward instruction, but this is to send you a message. Instruction is the key to learning. All right. And many of you are going to understand the difference between training and instructions after this. All right. So I think I have about just a minute. Okay. And I'm going to give it to, I know there were many instructions, but I'm just going to give it to the one who captured what I think is the most important instructions during the call. All right. All right, good. 30 seconds. And I even said, if you like, go read your book, which means many of you didn't tell me that. So the first instruction that I gave, okay, I wouldn't say the first, I won't call that the first instruction, okay, but I would say my first instruction, let me read out what you guys are written so that you guys can capture. I think I have just a couple of you. Temsi said, be accountable and give feedback. To write out the key to a successful mentee, one of the instructions is to get a copy of the market structure. You're right on that one. For those that actually want to get into the market structure mentorship, okay, you said accountability is key and it's like a mirror. That was a nugget. All right, following instruction and being accountable, that's actually a template. All right, Elijah Solomon said, Expert Hub, for one to learn better, we need to pay attention. Is going to on the Expert Hub and do well to join and follow what's happening. And you missed me here. One of the instruction is to join the Telegram group. So you got that one. Okay. And I was actually thinking you capture me because the first instruction that I gave. So audition, the answers are ended at this point. The first instruction that I gave on the call, all right, was 3 things. I can capture 3 things. Number 1, you want to be present. You want to be accountable. You want to what? Be communicative. That's always my first instruction. Okay. Coach Wells say, keep right. Keep right. Not an instruction for me. Follow instruction. Okay. That's a template. Create a mini accountable circle. That is one of the advice that I gave. That's an advice. Okay. Go to a Telegram page and follow the pinned message. So I gave you guys the Telegram page. Okay, I opened it. The first thing you do when you join this academy, okay, is to go to that pinned message and watch that video. Okay, the 3 things that are listed there, that's actually an instruction. Okay, so you have to register on Expert Hub and you follow that. So that's one of the great instructions. Okay, then I talked about the courses. All right, advice on go and buy the course. It was an instruction, okay, for the people who are going to go into the market structure course. Buy the courses on the platform. So that's an instruction for you to get started as a trader. This is where you get started. There was an instruction to go buy the courses if you want to learn, because one thing is to leverage to earn. You don't need to buy the courses. So I gave an instruction on those who want to learn, okay, because of the journey of mentorship. Does that make sense? So you actually go 1, 2, and you added some. All right, so let me look if anyone is going to be that. Specifically to join. Okay, that Catherine said yesterday. Watch the video on the Telegram and write out what you've learned. Okay, I didn't give out the instruction to write what you learned on the session was after the session. So you actually got one. You got one. Okay. You said everyone who wants to get started should send. You told us to watch the video until you got one. All right. So go to the Telegram, join the Telegram. That's actually a 1. All right. Last one, but say prepare, deal with your fear, learn, growth is. Okay. I see that's ended. This is where I stop. All right. Key, separate your measure from theory. Don't be afraid to lose. Follow and review signal providers. That is also a guide. All right. But not really an instruction. Instructions are very specific as to what you must do. Okay. So a guide on how you use our platforms. I did that. So that's actually on point. So if you guys give and you permit me, I'm going to say, all right, Mr. Coach Victor actually got the $20. Okay, he was more explicit and he hit more points on the instructions. Okay, so Coach Victor has actually won himself $40 at $30 today. That's good. Congratulations to Coach Victor. Okay, it's very, very important to pay attention. To pay attention to instructions. So when I give an instruction, it's explicit. Like, this is what you must do. So you know you don't have to avoid. Because when I give an instruction and you have a challenge, I'm going to bring you back to that instruction. Did you do this instruction? Because there's no way you would do what I tell you to do, all right, that you're not going to come back. In fact, I was studying this morning, one of the things that was said, okay, it's in the line of instruction. Let me see if I can quickly read it. Just hold on. It's very, very key. Just like as I'm going to train right now, you're going to prove. Listen to this. It says, whosoever cometh to me and heareth my saying and doeth them, I will shew you whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid foundations on the rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded on a rock. This is my principle to instruction. Anyone who follows instruction is actually digging deep to establish your foundation on a rock. You can't get it wrong. Don't neglect instructions. That's actually in Luke 6. So you can keep this. Let it be a reminder that I am here to follow instructions. Because if you want to model success, instruction, this is the power of instruction. The word that comes in. Okay, I've given you guys templates. I run on template. Even in training, I train on principles. He said, if you be willing, you join this call because you are willing. But what qualifies you to the good of the land? Say if you be willing and obedient, I will give you the good of the land. Many people need the good of the land because that is why you are willing. But what qualifies you is obedience. There cannot be obedience if there is no law, if there is no rule, if there is no instruction, which means your willingness needs instruction to get the good of the land. Do you agree with me? So the most important thing that your willingness should be after is what is the instruction from this training? What is the instruction? So when you watch videos, don't just watch to learn, watch to understand and discern what is the instruction this learning is giving me. And if you follow the instruction, it means you're obedient. A lot of people are willing and not many people are obedient. Okay. So I'm guiding you in the right direction so that you know I'm going to train right now. Some instructions are direct, some are passive. You want to discern, you want to pay attention. That's why I said you come in being able to follow instruction. Okay. So if you have gone through the video, you already know that we have a flat. So if you set up an account, I didn't do this live call in the platform because I know a lot of you will not have followed that instruction. Okay, you will not. If I post the link to, we have our own Zoom, we have our own live. Okay, and if I had posted that link, many of you would not be able to join this session because why? You probably haven't created your account, you haven't done that. So I decided to still do it on Zoom. But our next sessions are not actually going to be on Zoom, it's actually going to be on our platform. So you want to do well to make sure you follow that instruction. When you come in the group, the first thing you do as a trader who want to understand the environment, go through the ping message that goes through the 3 steps, 3 things to do. Watch the video of Expert Hub. All right, defining what Expert Hub is, then watch, set up your account, then watch how to use the platform. Those are 3 things. That is about the platform. Okay, and everyone, you must actually join the Telegram channel, no matter irrespective of where you are, the group you belong. If you're not in the Telegram channel, you're going to be missing out on the activity, because even if we send trades, we actually post the update of the trade for those who will miss notification or on that, even live session, we communicate the general activity on the update channel on Telegram. So that was a very, very visible instruction, all right, that I gave. So with that being said, let's look at the market. Now, if you come in, this is the trading part. Many of you are going to lose attention now because some of you, you may not be at the frequency. So another thing that I gave yesterday, another instruction, if you want to learn how, because many people don't know how to do this, and I will say it frankly and humbly at the same time. Many people don't know how to learn. They are just interested in what to learn. But I can give you my brain, but you cannot execute the way I execute. Because why? The how molded my decision. Okay. Your learning does not model your decision. Your decision models your learning. So one of the things you're going to learn, the how is very important because the how tunes you on how to make decisions. Learn how. hows are principles. This is what you do. But you can learn. A lot of people, if I come now, if I train, one of the confusion you're going to have, all right, is that you don't know what I am training on. You don't know the pace at what I'm learning. You don't even know that. And the next thing you're going to ask me is, can't we start from baby step? That is because you're not paying attention to the how. The sessions are made. It's a live trading session. Okay, it's a live trading session. So market insights are for people who are already in the trading space, who already understand trading. It means they've gone through the basic step in the platform. You've gotten the course approach to trading. You understand your baby steps. Okay, because you can't go through my approach to trading as a trader. That's it. And now for everyone who joins the platform, there is a basic forex basic. You don't know anything about forex. That's why I gave the instruction. You don't know anything now. Where do you start? There is a, how many of you on your platform, is there a forex basic class? Yes or no? Now I'll tell you one of the things you guys thinking. Many of you don't like to go through courses, and I understand that. Okay, I used to be like that, but that changed when I realized that when it's not about what I want, it's about the instruction that is given. Okay, so there's a, how many of you have gone through the forex basic class? That's where get started. Everything you need is actually in the courses. So if you're a member and you're just coming in and you know nothing about trading, my first instruction to you right now is, yes, I train, but the model of my training is that I capture things that I already feel you should have. Because if you go to a school today, you're in a university, the first thing the lecturer tells you is to get what? A manual. All right? What they call it? Is it a manual? I'm using the word manual. What's the word again? Is it man? School is a scam. What's that? That their paper. Come on. No, there's another word. Okay. Okay. We have different names in the a handout. Thank you. Okay. They give you a handout, and the handout is so you have when you're in class. It's what you are. Someone say hangout. Okay, right. All right. So that is what you use. So when you come in, you need a handout. For basic student, what is Forex? How to set up an account, pips, lot size, all of those things. We cannot be doing that, okay, in a trading session. A trading session is after you've done that, you set up your account, you now come and model what trading is with us. Okay, you can take it a step notch to say, oh, I want to get practical into strategy trading. I want to know how to take trades. So what is the strategy to trade? That is the approach to trading that gives you three basic strategies to now begin to trade on your own. In fact, you don't even need to join the session. I will tell you why these sessions are important. So you don't waste your money. Now, because see, I'm someone who's going to tell you how to apportion your money. Okay, because I am here to give you value, and I've learned a principle. The value that I give you should be more of value to you than it is of monetary recompense to me, which means if you want to pay me anything, it should be more valuable to you than the value of the money that I receive. So if you're in here in my platform, I can teach you. I'll show you how to spend money. It's not, I'm not here to say just spend money. I will tell you how to spend wisely. Why? Because I want you to get value. A lot of people don't know how to go about this. So yes, we have a platform that is pay as you go. But at the same time, if you're not wise, you will pay as you don't go. So this is how you do. I just told you what to do. $5. I think the cost on basic is, I think it's 5 SP. All right. Now the one on approach to trading is 20 SP. Is it 20 or 10 SP? That is your first investment for your decision to learn. I'm talking to learners, so I'm not talking for those who want to leverage. Leverage, you don't even need to go to that route. You will be better if you get an idea of what you're leveraging, but you don't need to. Leverage, you can come in when we call a signal, you can take. Okay, it's 10 SP, right? Beautiful. The approach rate is 10 SP. You can, if the moment you have an MT5, leverage means you need a signal. Okay, our signal is called, you just take signal, stay on your lane. Because why? You know what you came for. So this platform is designed for every niche in trading. If you want to leverage, signals are there. Okay, if you want to leverage, even leveraging strategies, you can leverage a strategy and you can do it yourself. That is where the cost for the strategy is. Okay, you don't need to join the live session. Live session is for live mentorship. Those who want to scale into mastery by adaptation, that's the highest form of learning. You learn through adaptation. You don't learn through courses. Courses will give you handout for learning. I can give you my videos, but you can't master it like I know it. True or true? I believe every one of you would have known it. So a better way to get mastery is that thing that I've trained you that you now have the course outline. You are seeing I am operating it in real life. If you stay in that environment long enough, that's adaptive learning. It means you will know how when the market is this way, this is how I deal with it. When the market is this way, these are the principles I used to deal with. But what governs how I look at the market, you are mastering it by adaptation. Adaptive learning is one of the highest form of learning. Okay. And you don't get that in courses. You get that in life experiences. Does that make sense? Okay, that is what the live sessions are for. It's not just the trading. Yes, we'll trade. You can come in, you can leverage our live sessions to make money because that is what we're doing. But most importantly, you leverage the live sessions for adaptive learning. You can't see me doing what I am doing consistently over the next 21 days, and you're not going to get anything if you have the outline. It's impossible. I guarantee you. Okay, that is if you come to follow instructions. Am I making sense? That's an instruction again that I'm giving. Okay, if you want to learn, these are the steps to learn. It's either you want to do adaptive learning or you want to do what a lot of people do. Okay, they want to learn actively by themselves. Okay, so we give you that. You can leverage that for yourself. If that's what you want to do, we don't restrict you, but we also give instruction if you want to get better. Okay, you should not choose some live sessions to join. Does that make sense? So, signals, we're going to start calling signals as the moment we start seeing the market. Okay, so let me share my screen. At least I've given, for anybody who was, okay, how do I start? I think I've given you an idea. All right. For learning, courses are the goal. Go get your manuscript or your handout. So, Henry, what are you sharing? What am I sharing right now? Okay. So we have a strategy. What are you guys seeing on my screen? Write it on the chat. Okay, so what I trade with, okay, so market insight. So let me give you guys a little explanation about market insight. Everything that I've given you guys as courses, so I've had different portfolio. Every portfolio is a strategy, okay, for a student to invest in. It means the market is like a language, okay? If I speak French to you right now, you won't be able to understand French if you are if you're English origin. Am I correct? So when the market opens every day, it speaks a language. This market is accumulation of all languages on earth. Okay, I'm just using the word languages. What the mistake a lot of people do is they understand a certain language and they impose activity on that language. If you go to India today and you only understand Yoruba, you are in trouble. You may be in a good space, but communication is going to be difficult. Do you agree with me? And all you're going to be looking for is someone who can interpret Yoruba. Am I correct? And that is what people do in the market. Because of the only thing they know, they come and they start finding the market to give them that thing. Okay. Now you are limited because if the market, if there is no interpretation or there is no setup that feeds that knowledge, you're going to now begin to force look. And that's why people get into trades they are not supposed to get in because why? They are limited by what they know. Now, this is how we upgraded learning. The more languages you speak, the more communication you have. Do you agree with me? Just like languages. If you are multilingual, your communication and understanding span is going to be increased. You're going to reduce stress of trying to understand people. It's the same thing with the market. Okay. When you understand different concept or approach to trading, when you come into the market, it's easy to know what the market is doing and you can just interpret it because you understand the language it's speaking. So that's what strategies are for or approach are for. So I didn't just limit learning to one that I am very good at. I am broadened your understanding. So if you come in, I can say price action is low. Oh, the market is, oh, this is what I'm going to do. The market is consolidating, means price action is going to be the best approach. The market is expanding, I can do LBS. The market is on discount or premium. Okay, I can begin to look for high quality setup for swing trades. Am I making sense? Put sense on the chart. So this is a place where you're going to get options. All right. Capital for options. They say capital gives you options. Capital is the knowledge in your head. It gives you options so that you're not limited. Okay. But another thing is every knowledge seeks expression. So as much as I'm giving you that wealth, also know that this wealth can either be an advantage or a disadvantage to you. So I'm also going to guide you in the course of our training because every knowledge seeks expression. You must be able to have the portfolios to practice. If not, you're going to start second guessing yourself. Okay. So LBS, what is LBS for? It's our day trading strategy. We come in every day, and that's one of the things I'll do. I'll take after finding after just going through the trades I'm looking at. So I trade indices. I'm widely traded. Okay, I trade indices, I trade gold, and I trade currencies. Okay, my priority are the volatile pairs like gold and indices, but currency are stable pairs. Okay, they don't move much, but they can actually pay you. Right. So I'm going to just start. So what I would do first, so that we can see money while we learn. You guys permit me to look at the market and tell you what we'll naturally do if we're all together in a class where you guys understand what we're doing. Okay, let's see the money first. So the market is consolidating from the Asian session. Okay, first thing I do, where is the market right now? The market actually hit an Asian session. I'm going to explain this. I'm just doing this for the student in the class so that they don't get bored. If I'm going to buy, I'm going to be buying here. If I'm going to sell, this is where I'm going to be selling to range. Okay, many people, you enjoy my training if you're new. Now, if I look at buying, this is where I'm buying to. The market is already bullish. So buy is the order of the day. Okay. If the market breaks above this structure, okay, we're going to have a buy setup on US30. And this is going to be our risk. It means to buy, we're going to have this. Okay. And this is going to be our reward. So that's my setup for US30. It's as fast. This is S&P 500, sorry, S&P 500. If it breaks above this area, it's going to be a buy. If it breaks below this area, it's going to be, I'm going to be looking for sales. Now, the option for sell is highly paying, but for me to sell, okay, I need the market to change structure. And if you clearly see this right now, the market has to break below this area before I'm going to sell. So we only have the option of a buy, okay, for US 500, S&P 500. These are indices. Okay, you're going to see that I'm very fast because why? We have a template. All right. Okay, and you're going to find that this is very easy. We already know what to do on S&P 500. That's clarity. I'm not second guessing what I would do. I already know. The market gives me an option for a buy. This is how I'm going to buy. The market gives me an option for a sell. Market needs to break this area before I'll sell. That's the strategy. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys. Okay, you guys have a view of the concept of the London breakout sniper. One of the beautiful strategy. I'm going to move to GBP USD. The concept is just quite simple. Okay, I go to the day, I'll see the range. We're trading what happened the previous day or a previous day before the market. So the market opened, already took out this day. It means the next day we're going to target. The market always chase daily liquidity. See, that is going to chase the daily liquidity of the high or daily liquidity of the low. Okay, so the previous day gives you a concept of what next liquidity the market is going to chase. When the market opened this morning, it already touched out this liquidity. Chances are market is going to start selling, even on US 500. Okay, because if the Asian takes away previous day liquidity, all right, it snaps to take the low side. So there were liquidity yesterday or Friday on the highs and the lows. It has taken liquidity on the high. Chances now it's going to start hunting for the low. All right, so this is the high. If it decides to go continuous on a bullish run, this is the next daily high, which means that's where I have an option to buy to. Okay, but if it decides to come low, okay, this is the daily liquidity. This is where it's going to sell to. So that gives me the guide of what I am doing today. So first is the direction. I've gotten the direction from the daily concept. Second thing is the strategy. How am I going to trade it? The third thing is how am I going to make money from trading it? Okay, risk. All right, that's the concept. I'm always conceptual in trading. So if you look at this today, the market was bullish. All right, then it changed character here. Okay, which means it's already on the sell train. Already it's on a sell train. What I do every day is if market breaks, sorry, if market is on the sell train, it changes character, sell train. Okay, if the first 15 minutes opens, I'm looking at one thing. Okay, it has to break below the first 15-minute candle. So this was the first 15-minute candle. I want to look at the market truly break below that, and I'm going to sell. Okay, and I'm going to sell. So the market has not clearly broken. So what I'm just going to do right now is just find structures and say, oh, this is holding up. So what this market is struggling with previous structure. If the market breaks below this area right now with a good candle of at least 2 pips, is it 2 pips or 5 pips, fam? Okay, I'm going to sell. So if the candle breaks below this area, okay, I am going to sell. So I have gotten a strategy for sell. Okay, now how am I going to buy? If it breaks above the first candle, okay, I'm going to buy. But already that is if the market is bullish. Now the market has already clearly what? Giving me a bearish sign by taking away this. Now for me to buy, it has to come above this. Okay, which means if the market breaks above this area, it's coming back to the bullish structure. This is how I'm going to get in for a buy. Okay, and I will target the next day for a buy. So this is where I'm going to buy. And this is going to be my risk, Asian low, okay, or swing low. And if it breaks below this area, this is where I'm going to sell. Now, this is where risk, you can see what I just did. I attach risk, which is the last thing. I would only buy if the market gives me an option to the high. It gives me an option of 1-to-1. I have my risk in place. If I'm risking anything, whatever the risk is, I'm able to get 1-to-1. If it doesn't give me, there's no trade. Okay, but this thing gives me 1-to-2. So the option for a buy is good. Now let's go look at the sell. For me to sell, it has to break below this area. Okay, and it will give me what? This is Asian. So this is a little bit tricky, but that's Asian. Okay. But if it wasn't unclear, I'd have to use this risk. Now, if I'm using this risk, I want to make sure that this gives me 1-to-1. It doesn't, which means I'm not taking this trade. If this is the risk, I'm not taking this trade, even if it sells today. That's the template. Very simple. Okay. So this strategy helps me know what to trade, when to trade it, and when it is good to go because of the risk. All right. But because of how this thing is looking like right now, this is one of those times you just have the rules, you can't bend them, but you can look at them in detail. All right. The rule said swing low or swing high, okay, for the risk for you to sell. Okay, in the Asian. So this is Asian. This broke the structure. So this is a swing high, which means in as much as I don't even like where it is, right? I don't like this type of risk. But if the market breaks, it's a sell. Now, the market is clearly, when you see this, is bullish. So there are some setups you would already know that this is going to be a struggling trade, but this is what defines you as a trader. It is not what you feel the trade is going to do. So your knowledge based on market structure can tell you, oh, this market is bullish. The forces of buyers are stronger, but your strategy says this is a sell. What decision are you going to make is what defines you as a trader. So this market, the moment it breaks below this area, and I'm going to sell, even if I have a feeling that the market can return, but I will sell it. Why? Every day I come into the market, I don't come to win. I come to look for my setup, and the sell clearly gives me a setup to sell, and I will sell it. All right. And if it breaks, so now this is risk. Risk is every day I risk 1% per currency. This market has given me an option of buy and sell. I don't know what it's going to do. Okay. So I break my risk. This is where risk intelligence comes in. I break my risk into two. The 1% that I would risk, because I'm not gambling, I'm being logical. The market can either buy or sell. All right. Now, if it buys, this is where I'm going to buy from. If it sells, this is where I'm going to sell from. Okay. It can do one or even both of them. The chances that it's going to do both of them and go negative, it's very, very low. It's less than 4% across. Okay, so if it decides to sell right now, what I'm just going to do is first entry. Now, you guys listen to this. It was on the cost, but many of you skip it because of the intention of money management. You just want to get money, but the rule is clear. Okay, I always take my trades to the previous. The goal is the previous day high. But Blessed said something yesterday, the power of 1-to-1. Your 1-to-1 is your security. What is 1-to-1 to this trade? If this trade breaks and close, in the next 6 minutes right now, this candle is going to close. It means it has sniped and the trade is ready for a sell. Okay, this is GBP USD. It has sniped and it's ready for a sell. The first thing I'll target 1-to-1. So this is 1-to-1. Okay, because this is the risk we're using. Okay, and this is 1-to-1. It means the moment the candle closes, however it closes, is our entry. All right, and we're going to take 1-to-1. This is the first entry, so it means this is going to be around my first take profit. You guys listen before you start thinking of trading. You want to listen to this instruction first. So because I realized something, I said I was going to talk about it this week, in this August. You can be winning more, but if your risk is not well apportioned, you're going to start having issues with the money you're making. That's why you're winning, but you're not really making money as you should. Okay, because I said 0.5 for the sell and 0.5 for the buy. So I keep money for my buy, okay, and I will execute for myself. So I already broke down. Every day I will risk 1%. Okay. But I would risk 1%. But if one go my direction, which is 0.5, it means 0.5. I only risk 0.5. Okay. But I leave 1% for both risk. So if this closes right now, I'm going to use 0.5. So let's say 0.5. I have a $10,000 evaluation account. Okay. 0.5 of that is how much? That is what you would apportion for this trade. So the money will determine your lot size based on the risk. So if the risk is 27 pips right now, okay, there is a detail, there's something you need to do, okay, to understand in GBP USD. There is a tool we call Forex. I'm just doing this for newbies. These are things we've actually trained on before. My Forex book. And trust me, we're going to do all of these baby step. I believe we're going to do all of this baby step on my Forex and Summit. Okay. My Forex book. That's it. Because some of you will now ask, how Forex calculator? How am I going to calculate my lot size? So I've done it. There is a video that I actually even did for that. Maybe you guys can drop it in a group. Okay, how to calculate your lot size. There's a formula. I did a video on that. Maybe I'll post it in a group. Someone can actually ask me. This is very, very important. Okay, Pips calculator, I think is this one. So this is a template. Select. Okay, sorry. Account currency is USD. Traded lot size. This is not it's not Pips calculator. There's one that is quite position size calculator. I think it's this one. Beautiful. This is actually very, very good. Okay. Currency, Euro USD. So I want to trade GBP USD. I'm just going to give this template, then we'll trade. What's this? So this market is not going to close. Trust me. We won't take it. Don't worry. I'm not in a hurry. I'm always checking. If it closes, we're going to take it. Don't be in a hurry. Is your account, the currency you're trading with is USD. Now, your account size. So let's say you have a $10,000 account evaluation. So you can take this and put whatever you want to use in it. Okay. Then what's the ratio you want to reach? 0.5, I said, right? Now, let's say the pips was what? 27 pips. 27 pips. So you're only trading one. Okay. So let's say you want to enter 2 entries. You can actually say 2. Okay. But let's just calculate for 1. And you calculate. It's going to tell you the lot size to use, 0.19. That's if you are using a 0.5%, your lot size should be 0.19. Okay. And you're risking $50. That's 0.5% off 10,000. You can see that I broke it into the risk you're going to use because the lot size was 27 pips. So one of the things you need to do, what is the risk for that trade? Write it down. This can help you now calculate what lot size you should use for that trade. Okay. And you're risking $50. So $50 for the sell, $50 for the buy. Does this make sense? Put sense on it. Put sense on the chat. So this is basic training I just did now. See, you can't see my screen. Can you guys, are you guys seeing my screen? I'm sharing my screen, right? I'm seeing my screen. Did you guys get this? Beautiful. So this is how you calculate your lot size. And you can use this also for gold. It's just that it's a little bit different on gold. Okay. also for indices, but this is majorly for currencies. You can't get it wrong by currencies. For gold, there's another video that I did for the calculator. Because if you do not know how to calculate your risk, you can be a bad trader and you have bad experiences. So now that being said, this tells you, so you can put if it's 1,000 you have, if it's 500 you have, it's going to tell you the lot size to use. Okay. Now the lower, so let's say my account is $100. Okay, 27 pips. You're going to see, why did you see this? You can't you can't risk a 0.5% in $100 account. That's why you see zero. All right. If you take it to 1,000, it's a 0.02, 500, 0.01. But if it goes below that, it means you can't risk a zero. There are some accounts you would have, you can't follow proper risk management. You have to now scale it up so that you can have what to risk. So it means you probably will be risking 5%. Now, it's not my fault, it's your account. Okay. So, but the principles are the principles. Is this clear? Put clear on the chat if this makes sense. So let's see. This now another rule of the closing is the trade must close at least, is it 2 pips? From the reject, it must close. This is not up to 2 pips. It should close around here. From the for you to have a good close. If not, the market can reject back and go. So this is not closing fine. And I don't like to rush on Mondays. The market has a good range. So close shouldn't be my problem. I'm not in a haste to get in on the trade. Okay. If it doesn't close well, all right. I know the initial, hold on. The initial candle was this area. Okay. If I'm not getting it twisted, that's the area. Let's see if we're gonna get in. Sorry. Okay. It qualifies for the 2% closing, even if it's a little bit shabby, it qualifies. This is what I'm going to do. All right. Now, this was a strong rejection in this area. So I'm going to give us a little pass. All right. So I'll do a sell stop here. So this, I'll make it a sell stop. Okay. Since there's a little bit of argument, all right, let's do a sell stop at this area. This is the risk. And I believe this is also 1-to-1. So you can take the trade. This will be our risk 1-to-1. That's a sell stop. Rather than doing market execution, okay, you can do a sell stop. Let the trade pick you when it comes down, all right? Because of this rejection, because this rejection means there was an area or a volume that took price down. So I'm just going to do a sell stop. Sell stop, clear. So this is how we call our trades. So let me just type it out on the chart for those of you who like baby steps. $1.3452. Stop loss is 1.348808. TP1. Now, another thing I've not said, that's why sometimes when I'm teaching, or I may be slow, but a few things I like to cover. Several TP, if you are doing TP1 and TP2, because I'm going to call TP1 and TP2, if you're doing TP1 and TP2 and you just want to use the 0.05, you can now decide to break it into two. 70% of your $50, which means $40, you can put $30, all right, on TP1 and $20 on TP2. Okay. So the trade is actually very active, like very active now. I'm the one missing out on this trade because I want TP1 is 1 point. All right. 3, 4. So you can't even do a sell stop anymore. It's now a market execution. All right. 3, 4, 2, 5. Did I get that? Okay. TP2 is 1.341005. Good. So that's it. Okay. Okay, so that's our first trade. I hope you guys understand the okay, so that's that. Excuse me. Okay, I just want to drop it in the platform LBS plus Forex symbol is GBP USD and as a sell. Okay, stop loss is 1.34808. Take profit one is 1.3425. Take the 1.4008. After you guys get the trade today, don't feel satisfied. Something is coming. So many of you don't trade to lose. That's why you don't look for setups and you don't want to find losses in them. And when your trade is not going your direction, you seem frustrated. You don't know why. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, two things I'm going to do today. Okay, good. So one of the things, okay, so we got a setup right now. It's clear we are in. All right. You don't know what's going to happen in trade, but you do know that if the trade hits here, you may take profit one. All right. If it hits here, you may take profit two. Now, the trade may come back and break above this area. That's taking me off my stop loss. I'm going to get in with the other 0.5%. All right. That is why you learn the strategy, and that's what gives you an edge. I've already dropped an alarm here. Now, because two things will always happen in the day. Most of the time, over 89% it happens, except the market is consolidating. It's either it goes to the daily liquidity on the low side or it goes to the daily liquidity on the upside. So if it snipes in the morning, it's going to make a move. The first move it's making is the sell. I'm in on the sell. But guess what? It can turn and say, oh, I'm not going that direction. That's not my way today. I'm going to the up. If it breaks, I'm going up with it. Now, chances are I may lose 1% because they can decide to now consolidate, take me out on both sides. You see, I make room for the losses, but what guides me in my losses, I will not lose more than 1% if in case the market does not do what it does. 1% is my limit. You see that management, you can't go wrong in trading. That's what a lot of traders don't do. They don't trade to manage losses. They trade to only make profit. Am I making sense? Did you guys get what I said? So the option is there. Now, I mean, you may not be in a live session for me to call this trade, but you see why that's why it's important. I let you learn the strategy so that when this trade breaks above, even if I'm busy, I don't call it or somewhere, but because you knew that is the condition of today or our trading strategy, you're not going to miss out on it. Is there a little bit of sense in what I just said now? So that is why I tell you, get the manuscript. Okay, we're only opportune to know. So I come in and guide us what we trade. But guess what? The trade may happen. There are things that will happen in the trade in the course of the day. It may decide to go back and break. And if I don't call it, you would have a lesson for 0.5. And that's also good because why? You didn't lose more than 0.5%. But that is not going to entirely say the trade was a loss today because the concept gives us an option to buy and sell. Okay, so and I've given us this template. So if it continues, we win. But if it goes here, don't be left behind. That is why you should have an understanding of this. So you become, it's kind of like you have a shield. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Put clear on the chat. Okay, so this is part of the training of our marketing side, but we're in here right now. So we also do that for EU. I think EU. So I have a currency account for portfolio. I don't trade my indices on portfolio. I don't trade different assets on one account. Okay, the only account portfolio that I would trade two assets because they move alike is currency asset. Okay, on LBS, I have an account for currency, I have an account for indices, and I have an account for gold. Because why? They move differently. So if I'm taking GU, I've already taken GU. It means my currency account I only risk 1%. So because I have traded GU, okay, in my own portfolio, I may not take, in that same portfolio, I will not take EU. Because why? I have a risk portfolio. I have a risk. I've already done zero. Now, if the other 0.5, this is the risk. If I decide to use it to take Euro USD now, it means there is no other thing I will do in that account. Am I making sense? Because I would have to risk. The goal is that I risk 1% in that portfolio for a day. So this is where trading management, trading discipline comes in, because you are training to be disciplined first before you become profitable. Okay, a lot of people cannot vouch for discipline. So this is part of the things that I put in for you to be a disciplined trader. Discipline your risk, discipline how to manage your money. See, the market will always give you options, but your account will not always give you options. So manage your account. Does that make sense? So EU is doing the same thing, it's the same setup. So if you're, some people they marry EU, some people they marry GU. But I only get, for me, if you're an EU fan, so in the whole charade, some people have said, EU is my thing. So they're always looking for setup. So somehow I will analyze both of them. The same thing. Okay. Before I will now move to gold. This had already taken this out. Yeah, this is the next move for the buy. Okay, and this you can see they're actually the same setup. And from the bullish move, we already changed character here, which is that's clear. And it's below, which means there's a structure there. Now, the difference in this is EU is structure. So EU has not sniped. Okay, so EU breaks below this area. Okay, we now have a trade on EU. So that's something that may happen in the currency. One may move faster than other. For EU, it hasn't snapped. Okay, now that is for the buy. For the sell, if it breaks below this area, I'm going to sell. Okay, now for the buy, if it breaks, so this is the first candle. If it goes above this area, it's continued on the bullish run. If it breaks this right now, all right, if the market closes above this area, because there's structure, I'm going to buy. Okay, what am I buying to? Because whenever I'm buying, the first thing is that it must not, I won't buy close to a sell structure. So if you look at, this is where I'm supposed to buy, but there's a structure. So I would allow the market break above, and that's where I'm going to pick my buy. And this is my leverage for today. 1-to-1 is going to be here. Wow, this market is rich. This is up. This is 1-to-1. This trade might actually pull up. Good. So 1-to-2 is here. This is a 1-to-3 move. If this trade decides to pull up above, EU is giving us a 1-to-3 move for today. That's rich. All right. I'll drop an alarm. That's where I'm going to buy EU. Okay. So that is on EU. Let me take this a little bit down. Yeah. That's a setup for EU today. Let me put it up. It's priority. The risk is good. Okay. The last thing is on gold. Let me see what gold is doing, and I'll check USD. Have I checked USD? So gold is consolidating, and one of the things you guys are actually, this currency, the other strategy is good on expanding. The market is on a consolidating phase. So this is where I use price action. I'm going to move to price action. But before I move to price action today, I will just focus on the concept of the LBS. All right. So gold, this is the target for today, either high or low. And if you look at this, we may not actually even see a good trade on gold. So gold, breakout structure, go. All right, so let's see gold from previous day. So this is not giving us a trend. Okay, So this was the previous day move. It was bearish in a consolidation. So this is where a lot of people can get trapped. Now, if you look at this move right now, there's only one break of structure. Neither is it a bullish move, just one break of structure, because it has to be two break of structures for you to have a good bullish move, except you're going to. But here, this is the high that changed character. So which means, okay, over the course of the Asian into this, from the bearish structure, there is a change of character. So market above is bullish. Okay, because it is above the change of character is bullish. So there's been a break of structure, there is a change of character. That gives us two concepts. So the market is bullish in nature. And you see this EMA that tells you, oh, that's ranging above. So the moment the market breaks this structure, I'm going to start looking for a buy on gold. All right. If it breaks this structure, I'll look for a buy. And we can have this swing. Yeah. So this is going to be my buy setup for gold today. Okay. Now, if it breaks below this area, it's going to be my sell setup for gold. It has to break below this area, but I think I'm not going to sell gold today because this is all structure. In fact, all of it is noise. Okay, we may not get one-to-one. Please don't give me one-to-one. Thank you. All right, so there's no sell. There can only be a buy on gold today, and that's what I'm going to be waiting for. Okay, the market breaks above and closes a 15-minute candle. It has to close before I get in, so I don't use it by the minute, right? So I'll put an alarm. That's what I will be waiting for on gold. Is this clear? All right, put clear on the chat. So that is gold. I've given us gold. I've given us GBP, USD. I've also given us indices. We checked US 500. Okay, I said it has to break above for me to buy, and also break below this area for me to sell. So I'll drop an alarm here. When this breaks above, it's going to be a signal. US 30. So US 30 already hits. All right, we had this trade on Friday. All right, good. US 30 next days. The buy is not rich, but the sell is very, very rich. And the market is on discount. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of. So the market is bullish. Since this is nonsense, man. This is fighting range. Okay, so this area already created this high, which means that's where we're going to have our change of character. If market breaks below this area, I'm going to start looking for a sell. Okay, though it's a little bit creepy, but it is what it is. If the market, I pray, let the market hit this deal, then start coming back. I would love it more because it would have taken the previous day high, and that will give it momentum to shoot down. All right. And if that happens, I will start looking for sales. And this has a very, very good reward on the downside. Indices expand farther. Okay, so this is a 1 to 4. So at least you are out of. The good thing about this, you'll be out of the bullish range, okay, which is this on your 1 to 1. So I kind of like this, and I'll be looking forward for the sell on this move when it breaks below this area. Does this make sense? So clearly over the last couple of minutes, I know what I'm going to do in all of my currencies. Okay, all I just need to do is wait. Take few minutes setup, longer minutes waiting. Okay, not waiting because I want to see what the market is doing. I already know what I'm looking for. And if the market fulfills it, I'm going to actually trade it. Okay, with that being said, do you guys understand what we just did to know? So this just gives you a scale of what we do in our market. This is one of the things we do on LBS. Now, I also have price action. If I shift to my other account now or my other profile, that's when I now give you, okay. So every trade that I've sent, I'll tell you what I do on price action. So we had an EU buy on price action, it's hit TP2 and it's still moving. Okay. So on price action, and I told you guys something. If this guy is going to continue to buy, look at what he did. He's going to buy previous structures. Can you see that the moment he did this, he bought? Okay. Price action is a different model. It means we're looking at the market with a different model. This is not intraday. This is actually price action. So we're moving on the structures of the market. The next place I'm going to buy, CC is already picked this area. Trust me, it should be going here. Okay. Because if it doesn't, the next place I'm going to buy is I'm going to allow the market probably come here. This is one of my biggest points I want EU to come to for me to get into a very good, so this is range price action, ROPA. Okay. So we have consolidating price action. I know you are hearing many things in case you are new, but this is how you get rich in trading. Okay. Every move has a portfolio. And if you begin to apportion these portfolios, so because one, you don't want to be sentimental of the market. Okay. I don't know how to. So this is price action. I'm not going to be doing anything on price. And like I said, they don't come often, but when they come, they hit hard. Look at this. This is a good move. Okay. We also had gold. All right, we bought gold around here. It's in that move. We've actually hit some TP1 and TP2 from this price action. So we had trend. Okay, this is not price action. This is not trend shift. So on the trend, and these all these trades are actually called in the live session. So when you see me say trend shift, this is how we get the trade. Okay, so there was a trend move here, and I think this trade is still honoring that trend. All right. And I won't do any analysis as of today, Monday. Maybe in our next class, I'm going to do analysis because I'm not in a hurry. The market is consolidating. And I also promised something for today. I just wanted to show you guys, okay, the different ways we look at the market and the different portfolios. And guess what? This one, when you guys hear a trend shift, what did you see on trend shift? Okay, 5 trades called on trend shift, 100%. So when you see me, I say I want to analyze trend shift, you pay attention, won't you? Okay. So what I'm going to just do, did you guys get value on the session? There's only one thing remaining for me to do. Okay. Don't be so excited when a trade is moving. In fact, don't look at a trade after you've taken it. I beg of you, you'll be disappointed. Okay. So let me tell you guys something. When I take a trade, I don't manage it. That is why I will manage the trade before I take it so that I do not manage it after I've taken it. Many of you will learn that, will learn why that is very, very important. In everything I've taught you or showed you, have I managed my trade before I took it? I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to enter, and I knew the risk I was willing to give to it. That is management. The moment I execute the trade, is either I go hit my TP1. Okay, and if I set TP2, it hits my TP2. The only time I'll manage is whenever a trade hits TP1 and you're still in an entry, you can break even. But the good thing is you don't even have to break even, because even if the trade retraces, if you use 70%, so let's say you're risking $50 and you use 70% of 50, what's 70% of $50? I think it's about $35. How much? How much is 70% of $50? $35. 35, it means if you hit take profit one, you have made 35 plus 35, that's $70. You are already in profit. So you made $20 already. So even if the other $15 goes and hit, you are not in negative. So I don't even have to. Okay. So that is why I do not have the sensitivity to manage a trade. Okay. I've already managed it, so I can look away. In fact, I expect more losses. Okay. So that I can keep my emotions clean from not trying to look in. You guys will be different, too. You'll be tough. When you trade with me, trust me, you'll be tough on the losing side. You're going to get to a position you'll be diving into losses because you're not scared. And that is really where the breakthrough happens. All right. Any questions so far? There's one more thing remaining for me to do, because I just showed you guys a trading experience, but many of you don't have a foundation. Cambry, why should I trust your trading? This trading experience you just did, why should I trust it? Can I show you why you should trust it? So everything I tell you, I know why I tell you. Don't look at your trade, because your trade can be in fact, can be close to TP, and the next thing is reverses. Guess what will happen to you? You will be broken. You will feel bad. Even to me, that's why I don't look. If I come back and I say, this trade almost hit TP, I wish I was looking at it. Yes, I wish I was looking at it. I may, but that's bad trading concept. Okay, the only time I get to exit a trade if it is close to at least between 3 between 7 to 3 to 7 pips. If it is, I can say, I want to earn $100, but this has given me $80 already. Oh God, let me just. If I am looking at it, that's when I will take it out. That is my playful. That is the only room I give myself to. Oh God, this one won't close. Oh, this close. Oh, let me dash the market the other 15 pips now. All right, let me take this one. But I can do that. Playfully, I can do that. But I'm not doing it because I'm scared. I'm doing it because I just want to wrap up that profit quick. Do you guys understand my resolve? I'm not saying this. But I have a rule to everything I do. Rule guides me, not emotions. So that's why I'm not looking at the market. The rule, there is a playful side allowance on the rule that if I see a trade, okay, I'm gunning for 30 pips and the trade is already in 27 pips. Come on, guy. I'll close the trade because that is it's one of my exit rule. It's closed already. And the truth is you don't own the market. Never be so guaranteed. Okay, so I'll let it hit. Celebrate who? Who is celebrating you? That it hit he hit the line. No, it has nothing. A lot of people carry this braggadocious, my setup. So don't brag about what you know in the market. Just care about what you are getting from it and sell out. Does that make sense? So I can be loose, I can be tight, but I give rooms and variation for being loose. There is something managing. So I just told you if it's 3 pips close, but if it's 10 pips away, because one of the things that happen to traders is they exit their winning trades too early and they stay in their losing trades. Do you agree with me? So I don't want to give room to exiting my winning trades too early. So that's why I gave it the roof is closed. I exit that one and I wait for the other one to run. You guys will enjoy swing trading. Day trading is just a way for us to get appetizer every day. This is not really where the money is. The money is in those things I did not show you today. That's where the money is. But I want you guys to get acquainted with the rules. Go get the course. I am willing for you guys to boil. Get the course so that when I do market approach, I know that somebody already know. You want to know depth of what they are. There is money in this space when you understand the way I'm training. Okay, so let me just dive into. Spent a lot of time, and I know you guys are excited about learning. All right, so let me show you guys why you should trust what I showed you. Okay, so you guys pick a currency. So let's just go through a currency. Pick a currency on the chart that you guys want me to go through. I know many of you will select gold. So let's go to gold. So I'll do gold. Or should I go by your selection? I know gold. You can never go wrong with gold. Many of you like gold money, but you don't have good accounts. All right, so let's go to gold. Now. So, Kenvry, one of the things you want to be very, very good at. Don't trust a person's good math on what they think they know in the market. Trust the process. So if anybody is not willing to show you a process, okay, don't waste your time with them. All right, so that's why I want to do this. And that's one of the things where I'm telling you. So I'm going to go over over gold, maybe the last 10 trading days. Okay, so that you guys see what would have happened if you knew this strategy I'm sharing with you. So I'm going to probably start here. So let me start here. 10 trading. Let me go back days so that you can see the outcome of what would have happened in 10 trading days backwards. All right. So since I'm not going to do anything on gold, I can quickly just take this out. So 10 trading days, I would add probably because of weekends out, I will make it that's 2 days on weekend. That's 14. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is this right? Good. So I'll start there. Okay. So starting there, I would put, since it's there, I'm starting. The concept is we always mark out the previous day high and the previous day low. So if we're going to trade this day, okay, if we're going to trade this particular day, we would be marking, let me just use this and this. Okay, so to make it clear, all right, I got a new thing for you. All right, beautiful. So that's it. So no more wahala. So now you are not seeing what will happen because I've gone back. This is one of the things. This is a pure back test because why? It can't go wrong because you're not seeing what the market has done. So this is what I would do. Okay, I'll clearly mark out this high. All right, I'll mark out this low. So I wasn't even supposed to put this here. It's not needed. Okay, let me just leave in case maybe this replay thing is going to. So now that I have this, okay, I'm going to change it to 15 minutes. What am I looking at? Okay, I'm either looking to buy to this previous day, which, all right, or I'm going to sell to this previous day. Let me take this one out. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. The market is on London, so it has to go through Asian because we are trading in the London, this is a London, so I need to go. The new day has to be a London. So let me play this a little bit to give us a London because we're trading in London just like we're doing now. Just allow the Asian play. London has started. All right. So what am I going to do? This is the previous day high. Okay. And this is the previous day low. So if the market closes, so for me to sell, the market has to be what? On a sell trend. Okay. So this was the high. This is the low that created the high. It means market has to break below this area, at least below this area for me to sell. Okay. For me to sell, the market has to break below this area. So let's play that. Okay. For me to buy, the market has to break above this structure for me to buy. And this is all the consolidation. So buy, and if I buy here, there's no one-to-one, it means I cannot buy. But if I sell here, there's a one-to-one, it means I can sell. So let's play it out. Okay. Are you not playing? All right, slow. So you guys will help me count loss and win. All right, so let's take it. Hold on. Oh, calm down. I've stopped you now. I've stopped you now. It's not pausing. It sometimes does that. Pause. Pause. It's not pausing. But stop now. It's not even. It's in network. Okay, hold on. Calm down. Come back. Come back. Come back. I think it's network. And I don't want to refresh. If I refresh, it may take. I just okay, good. It came back. So beautiful. So where are we trading? Now watch it. This is where this market closed below, okay, which is one of the things we're looking for. This is a short. Now, we may take the trade, but it has to give us a one-to-one. So let's see if this market, where are we going to put our risk? Normally, we put our risk above, okay, either the Asian high or a swing level. Now, where you choosing a few pips above gold, you have to at least three to five pips. A few pips above, this would have been a very dangerous trade. I'd love to always calculate the Asian session, but the trade is only going to be valid if it gives me one-to-one. Okay, this is clearly just a one-to-one trade. Okay, if I put my slightly now, this would have been very critical because the Asian, if you look at this right now, this is in the Asian, this is the slightest low or this. Now, if I pick gold, I'm very sensitive. I don't allow my gold go below above. If it goes above 50 pips, you are in danger. So this is about 35 pips. Okay, if I'm choosing this as 50 pips, it's dangerous. But this, which also this swing low that created this, is actually valid. So I'm just going to put my trade above that area, which is good. Did this trade give us a one-to-one? Absolutely. Okay, so this is one. So this day is out. All right. Now, you know, the next day's high is still this area. It has not it does not tick the day's low, but it did eventually. It topped it. I believe if I pulled it, watch this right now. I want to select the bar. Okay. Okay, I cannot select the bar. Let me just play it. I just hope. But you guys saw that it touched it, okay? Yeah, it did. All right, so that was stop now. Okay, it did. So now that we know, okay, day one, that was a profit. The previous day high is this. Don't forget, this created the high. All right. The previous day low is still this because that's where the market opened and touched the previous day low, which means if I'm going to trade below this day, I would trade to what? The previous day low, which is going to now be this area. All right. So if the market starts today, I'm either going to sell to this area or buy to this area. Am I making sense? Let me take this out. So this is now the previous day high. If I take it to the daily, that's what you're going to see. This is previous day high. So if you look at this today, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be looking for a buy. Okay, at what point am I going to buy? I'm going to look at this is the lowest low and this is the high that created the lowest low. That is how I'm going to buy. It means I'm going to buy above this area, all right, for me to get. And guess what? We may not get a one-to-one on this trade. Neither will you get a one-to-one on this trade. So this is a day to avoid because why? The risk, or except it gives us a new low, like I said, when the market breaks that low that breaks it, you can actually take it. So let's move. Let's just see what it did. All right, it moved the day. So, but clearly not our day. But it sold. Okay, but because of the risk, we shouldn't have taken that trade. Okay, oh hold on. Let me change it to a day here. Move, 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 move. I've stopped you now. I'm sorry, this is a little bit. Stop here. I know you guys want to see the outcome of the days. If you can get this, your confidence level will see. We move from where you are right now, okay, to something else. Because why? If you see me do what I do every day, it's just simply because of the confidence of what I know this strategy does. All right. Lord, why is network being a little bit messy this morning? Why now? Oh, I don't want to refresh. If I refresh, okay, good. So I'm on the daily now, which means, yeah, I got it right. So if the market was coming, this is the previous day low, okay? So it means we shouldn't have gotten into the trade that day, all right? So that's clearly, and if it is not that, the next day low after this low is this area, all right? That gives us a measure of what we're looking for. So we wouldn't have sold, so there's no trade for this particular day. There is no trade. Why? It didn't give us the risk, okay? So now we have to move to the next day. Are we together? If you guys you're understanding what I'm doing so far, that's just the play of the strategy. Okay, the play of the strategy is you only trade when it gives you one-to-one. All right, if it doesn't give you, you don't trade. So let's see another London, which is the third day. Another London is opened. Okay, hold on, hold on. When I pause now. Okay, you know what I'm going to do. So clearly we're buying. All right. Let me just allow the market play a lot of markets. I will just do, since I can pause. Okay, let me pause now. Let's see if it's gonna pause. All right, good. Now watch this. You have not still stopped. Stop now. Okay, good. This tool is messing up. Oh, allow me message your trading view. So I will just leave it, let it be playing. So what I will just do is fast track. I love to use it when it's replaying for learning purpose because sometimes you make a decision or sometimes when you see the candles ahead, you already be making decision on what you want to do. But because of time, today, now, this is the new London. What are we supposed to do? Okay. Uh, maybe just stop where you are at. Okay. So you guys can still see my screen, all right? So I'm just going to use this. Yeah. So we are to buy this particular day. This is the previous, never forget, this is the previous day high. So we're still using this previous day high. So this, for this particular day, let me take this out. So this is the previous day low, okay? And this is the previous day high, okay? This is the previous day. So what are we doing? We're buying, all right? This is going to be, at what point are we buying? Okay, this market created this low, okay? There was a break of structure. So this created this. So automatically, when there's a change of character, we are permitted to. All right. Now, this is the first candle of the day. The candle that breaks above, that is where so the candle has to break above the structure Sure. So the thing about this day is a bad day. Because why? It broke and didn't close. So this was news. So this news stole that day away. The rule says if the candle that breaks above, so and there's a structure. So if this candle has closed, this would have been a perfect move, but there was no perfect move as hit the day. So that day is gone. All right. So what's the score so far? We're still on one. Okay. Now the trade came back. So I'll take this away. What's the previous day high? This is not the previous day high. All right. Sorry. And this is still the previous day low. Okay. This is the previous day low and this is the previous day high. So if the market is coming on the London session, okay, we're going to be what? Either buying or selling. So now one of the things that happen is the first candle of the day has to close below this area. So this is what you will see. This is already bearish because the market is bearish from the previous day low. There's been break of structure. And this is the first candle of the day clearly closed. So this would have been an entry, perfect entry. Okay. And this would have been what? Our risk is going to be Asian high. And this was going to be our reward. This trade is a loss, put loss. So we have one win, one loss. Okay. One win, one loss. Okay. And it will also give us an opportunity to buy. But I'm just going to be very, for us to buy, because it's bearish, it has to take this away, okay, for us to buy. And we only get to buy, okay, in the London session. So I know I will be very, very, I'm someone when I do my back test, I'm very, very thorough, okay? So if the market takes this, watch this. This is the low. There's a break of structure. This is the low that created this high. It means if it tipped us out, we have an opportunity to get in again. Okay. And getting in again, this candle prepared high. But guess what? I don't take good because of this. I wouldn't have taken this candle because of the way it closed, because this would have been my risk. And I don't risk. I told you guys, risk point. If I enter this candle, this would have been my risk, so I don't. So because of that, and this would have been the reward. It's crazy. It does not give. Does it give me one to one? No, which means I will not take this trade because it does not give me one to one. So I only risk my 0.5%, and that's okay. But it's a loss. Like a loss for that day. I'm not. It's not about the 0.5%. What is a loss? We just have to account for it for a loss to this present day, so that you know what it did in the course of, how many days. Okay, if it was good over the last 1 week or not. So now we are in, this is now our previous day low. Okay. And this is still going to be our previous day high. So this is a lesson. Okay. And the market that opened in London, what trend is this? This market is consolidating. So most of the time, I want you guys to learn this. I'm showing you guys this so that the moment you catch the concept of the strategy, you have liberty to go back test 100 trades. So I'm only showing you what the concept of a back test is. Whatever currency you want to trade, you have the power to install this concept and go back test. It will give you the strength of what it does if that currency is performing to the structure of the strategy. Because if you cannot see through a back test, why are you trading it? Okay. So today, if I have to buy, okay, I have to buy above this area. Okay. If I have to sell, I have to sell below this area. Where am I selling to? Okay, here. Is this a good sell? No. It means for me to sell to the next area. After this area, this market has to break below this area. Okay. Because that is the daily low. So for me to sell to the next day, it has to break the daily low. Okay. So let's look at how the market played out. But for me to buy, it has to break above this area for me to buy. Let's just see how the market played out. We are moving now. I've played you. All right, beautiful. So if I had to sell, now watch what would have happened. Risk would have determined if I'm going to sell. Now, I believe this market is going to probably hit the next day low, but let's just watch. I just want to, I think I'm going to take it to the previous day. Okay. Yeah, it did. I just wanted to play many because of time. Let it do many. Yeah, we're going to come back to, oh, let me probably just stop the replay. Okay. So we'll come back to, yeah. So this is what we just did now, right? Yeah, what did we just do? Okay, good. So we just did this right now. Let's look at it critically. So like I said, if I'm going to take this trade, I am going to allow it break below. Now watch this. If it breaks below, that's when I'm going to take. But it has to not give me what? I would have to take the trade if it gives me one to one. If I'm taking this trade and this is my risk, all right, I want to be sure it gave me one to one. It didn't. Now, in my sessions, do I give allowance? Okay, if it's 2 pips close, I would have taken this trade because that's what I would do in the live session. In case it's not, if it is at 80, 85, 90, I don't take trade. But if it's 2 pips close, it's worthy of the risk. Do you guys agree with me? Okay, that is what I do in a live session. I can give the room for a trade when it's just 2, 3, between 5, if it is between 5, even 5, sometimes I don't take 5, but if it's 98, all right. If you notice, most of the trades I've called, I said, oh, let's take it 98 is very close, 2 pips. So there would have been chances we took this trade. So this was a good one because it actually hit today. Even if you moved it forward to say, let it just give you one to one, the trade actually did that. Okay. You can see for this, it tapped it. So this was one good trade. Does this make sense? Because it is close and the risk was good. All right. So, and that also give you a variation. Kenfrey says if the trade is one to one is a valid number, but sometimes if it is tied 2 pips, 3 pips below, you can actually allow it. You have the liberty to allow it. So that actually gave us, that trade. The next day, there will be no trade because why the market consolidated. For me to trade, it has to break above this area and for me to not target this area. Now, if it breaks above this area and close, this will be my risk. All right. Now, because the market has played out, let's just do this. This is a sell trend. And for me to buy market, I have to take the high that created the lowest low. Okay. So for me to buy this day, this is the high that created this low. I have to allow the market take away that sorry, for me to buy. Sorry, I'm using the wrong tool. Let me use this one. Yeah, because of this plenty line. It has to take away this for me to buy. Now watch this. I can't take this trade because it happened after the London session. So this is not a trade, okay? Because my trade stopped at 5. Is it 4? 4. Time has not changed. Okay. You see the London session now. This is gone played. The moment London session ends, all right, no more trades because it's a London strategy, London breakout sniper. So the moment it goes beyond 5 p.m., you're done. All right. So this was no trade. So the next day, we now have the previous day low to be this. Okay. And the previous day high to be what? This. So don't forget, this is now the previous day high, which means if this market is above when it buys, I'm going to buy. Now watch this. Okay, this candle clearly closed above the structure. So we have a structure here because that is what I'll be looking at for. Okay, and I would take my risk there as long as it gives me one to one and the risk is not way more than 10. So this would have been, is either I take this low, okay, yeah, this is the swing low that created this. So that is a valid one. Okay, the way, is this a win? It happened. All right. This happened in a London session and it actually played out clean very well. That's another one. How many do we have? You guys write it on the chat. Okay. So if this market, this is the previous day. So we now have a new day. For me to trade, I'm trading. The Asian session coming into the London already took the day. So this is the previous day high. Never forget. All right. It means if I'm going to buy, I'm going to be buying here in the London session. So market has to break above for me to buy here. Did the market break above during the London session? It didn't. All right. For me to sell, it has to change character. Did the market sell? No. So there was no trade. Okay. This is the next London session. Okay. What am I going to do here? This is already the previous day high. Watch. So if I'm going to take that, yeah, after this, we are going to have, this is the next previous day high. Okay. And this is the next, this is the previous day low for this particular. This is, yeah, the low before the Asian. Yeah, this is the previous day low. If not, hold on. I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, this is the low before the Asian, if I am not mistaken. Just a moment. Let me go to daily. Let me put something here. Let me just change it. Will I know from changing it? How many do we have so far? You guys type it on the chat. Okay, good. Where is it? Ah, Okay, this is we have been dealing with. Okay, I wouldn't know where I am now. Okay, yeah, this candle that was moving. So this was the last one I did. Okay, so this is the next candle. So this is the previous day low. I got it. So after this was the previous day low. Okay, and this is it. Yeah, so this is it, and I'll move back. So this is the candle we're dealing with. So we can go back. Yeah, so this is where we're at. So it means for me to sell, this is where I'm now at. Okay, for me to sell this particular day, I'm buying here. It means if market close, okay, for this particular day, for the buy, market had to close. So this is the first candle, market had to close above this area. Trust me, it did. I was in this one. I was in this one first to buy here, right? This didn't give me a close. Okay, it had to close below this area. So the next day was this, and the market was bullish. This is the first candle. Okay, and market had to just close above structure. So and it did. Okay, so there was structure here. In fact, there was a closing. So it had closing, but there's a loss because why? It came back down. It didn't hit. Want to hold up. I'm too much in a hurry. Okay. So if the market close, I am going to do this risk. This was going to be my risk. I can don't be in a hurry too much. This was going to be my reward. 92. Would I have taken the trade? No. Okay, I like this. Okay, this is a narrow escape. All right. If it was 98, I would. 92, no. Okay. So it means I wouldn't have taken this is where risk is very, very good. Your risk to reward will save you. Don't just jump into it. Oh, the market is bullish. Let me enter. I wouldn't have gotten into the trade because of this risk. Okay. Even if I say, oh, gold, you have to give it about 3 pips between here and here. Even if I shift it a little bit up, it's still not up to 98. 98 would have qualified me. So this is not a lesson, all right, because risk did not qualify. Does that make sense? Which means the next day I ought to sell. First candle. Now, this is the low that created what? The next day. This is the next day. This is the low that created this high. It means I will be selling the candle, all right, that closed below. And this candle closed below. This will be my risk, ladies and gentlemen, above this high, okay, or above this high. This is an Asian high. This is clearly good, okay? And I'll target one-to-one to the previous day low, which is clearly what we're seeing here. Did we get a one-to-one? Absolutely, we did. So that was a clear trade. Is this making sense? Okay. Now, the next day, don't forget, if the market breaks below this, we're gunning for what? The next day low. And this is the next day low. If it breaks below that on the Asian session, this is the next day. What did market do? All right, there's a break of structure here, and this high is a clear one. So this is the high that broke. So what do we have? We have a break or structure. Where are we buying to? We are buying to the next day's high. And clearly, we still have this high. So this is not the next day's high, okay, that we're buying to. So if we buy this market, let's see if we had one-to-one if we buy this market. So clearly, we had a trade here. I don't know if that gives us 2 pips. Yeah, but that was a good closing. Okay, we would use the risk below so that we would have a break of structure. So this, the break of structure happened here. We can't go, I wouldn't have taken this trade if I had to go low this, but because this broke structure, this is a swing low. So I would have used this and I would target what? One-to-one. Did this market give us a one-to-one? Almost a 1-to-2. All right. It paid off for that particular day. It did pay. Does that make sense? Okay, we entered during the Asian, but we entered during the London, but during the Asian session, but the entry has happened. So it means your trade will be running and you got paid. So that was that, which also gives us that this becomes our next day's high. Okay, because it created this. Okay, so this is our previous day high, and this is our previous day low. This market is going to be very, very difficult today. Okay, but let's see how it played out. Now we are in the London session. This is the low that created this high, which means I will be selling, okay, when it breaks this structure. All right, so let's see how it played out. If we clearly got this, let me see. Sometimes my line can be straight and it cannot be straight. Is this line straight? Because if it's not straight, I won't get. I think it's straight now, right? Good. So this is a straight line. This is a straight closing. So there was a closing here, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Now watch this. This would have been, sorry. If I take this would have been my risk. I'll put it slightly higher, okay? Because this changes and I'll target 1-to-1. This is the previous day low. Did this pay off, ladies and gentlemen? How many do we have? Are you guys writing this down? Are you guys following? How many now? If you're not following, then you guys are missing out on the very reason I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. So someone said 6, someone said 1. I think from the last time I asked, I've done 3 trades. Okay. So this was 1, this was 2, this was 3. From the last time I asked, I've done 3. Madam, 5 wins. Oh boy. So this is where we started. So thank God it's here. So this is 1 win. This is 2 win. Okay, no, this was a loss. Okay, so this is the one we lost. 1 win, 1 loss. 2. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I missing out anything? At least all you guys need to do is to follow the data. This is 1 win, 2 win, 3 win. Okay, this was no trade. Okay, so this is no trade. So this is out. Okay, so that is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4 win, 5 win, 1 loss, 6 win. So it's a 6 win, 1 loss. Is that clear for everyone? 6 win, 1 loss. Okay, where are we now? So the next day was this area. All right, this is the next day, which means the market is already on a sell trend. What are we looking for? We're looking for the candle that will close below the structure. Where is the structure? This is the structure. This is actually the structure it created. Okay, and this is the candle that closed. And this is a structure. The risk would have been this. This is clearly the risk, and reward is going to be 1-to-1. Did this market give us a reward? Absolutely, it did. That's another one. Now, another thing we have to look at is this. Okay, I was too fast on that one. Our daily low will be here. If I'm not mistaken, hold on. This was the Asian. Okay, the low before the Asian. If I'm not, hold up. I must get it right. So I must get it right. I don't assume. All right. No, no. Okay, so this is where we are at. We're already close to, so this was the last this I put. So it will be this. I don't want to delete everything. So this was, yeah, we're clearly in a low. This was a previous day low, okay, for this. Okay, so let me take this away. So this is what did I just delete? Hold on. Yeah, so this is the last thing we had for a check. And after that, this, we've come here now. Did I delete anything here? Okay, it's there. It's just not. Okay. So this is the day we are at, and this is the low. So this is not here. Okay, so since we're doing this, this is because I can see this. So this is the previous day high. Okay, let me just put that as red so that I can differentiate that. Beautiful. So this is the previous day low. Okay, so if we are here, this will be the previous day high. Let me put this blue because you don't have to miss out on that. So this will be the previous day low, blue, sorry. And this will be the previous day high. So I believe we are here. All right. So let me, okay, I'll do something because I don't want to miss it. I'll put it here so we know when we go back. All right, good. Okay. Oh, we're still far away. So we'd already, this, okay, yeah. So this is the previous day low before this move, okay? Which means this move, we're not even in it. We're not going to consider it because it doesn't give us a one-to-one, which means it has to break below this area, all right, for us to start considering a trade on the upside, okay, for a London session. So, and this market came, truly it did, all right? It actually broke below this previous day and it closed. So this was the sell, all right? Now, this is my entry if it breaks. I would not consider my risk if it gives me one-to-one, okay, if we have to be flat, and of which it did. So it means if it breaks below this area, I'm going to take a trade, all right? Honestly, I will. And to the next day, it didn't, all right? It flat me out. So one-to-one will be here. I'm not sure this it didn't give me. So this was a loss. It was a loss, all right? It was a loss. So let's count that as a loss. Normally, there's a variation here. This daily, this risk is much. And you can see this, it's not up to 50. So that's why I'll count it because I would have dared it, for that particular day. So we have another loss. All right. And which means we can now take this out and now consider this to be our next day low and also this our high. So this is our high. Let me take this out. All right. So if we are in the low for the next day, the market is what? Is bearish. The high that created, the market has to break the high for me to buy. Okay, so this is the high that created, hold on. This high that created this low. Okay, this is the high that created the lowest low. No, I want to buy here. So this is the lowest low so far. Oh, we may have something. Is there a break of structure here? No, this is the break of structure. So this is high that created, all right, this low because, okay, another one. This one is lower than this. Okay, hold up. So from the Asian session, so let me take this out. So this high, let me bring this one here, created this low. There was a break of structure here, and this is a new low. This is the high, or this high created this low, which means if I'm going to buy in London, okay, I have to buy when market breaks above. Okay, so clearly, when the market opened, this is the first candle. So it has to break above the first candle for me to buy, and it didn't, which means the market is already bullish. For me to sell, it just have to close below. This is the first candle, and it has to close below that move. There's no structure here, so there's nothing holding me, which means it has come back to the trend. So what am I doing? I am selling this area, okay, and this is my risk, and I can target the previous day low. Or this is one-to-one. Did this market give us one-to-one? All right, it gave us one-to-one. Okay. I have to buy when it broke above, but the candle did not break above the first 15-minute candle. The first 15-minute candle is actually our consideration candle, but it didn't break above. All right. And guess what? It decided to sell. But at what point are we going to sell? It has to break below the first 15-minute candle and also break below, change character. Okay. So clearly, because it is not a bullish structure, it's just changed character. So if it came below the change of character, that's actually what a continuation of a bearish trend, and that's why we had this, and it's a clear one. Okay, I think we're coming to the end of the days. The next one is this area, and if this is the previous day high, now this will become the previous day low. So this area will become the previous day low. Okay, from the London. So this is Asian, this is the previous day low. So we are in London here right now. Okay, from the Asian, there's a breakout structure. Okay, so this clearly a market that a lot of people are going to have issues. And I think we bought this market. Okay, if we look at this right now, this is the low that created this high. It means this market changed character. All right, from here, the market changed character. This market was bearish from here. Okay, so this is the low that created this. It changed character, which means this market is already bullish. So it means if it came back above the change of character, market is what? Clear to go. This is the first 15-minute candle of the day, and this is what? A bullish move. So it means market closed above. Okay, and this was going to be the Asian low. What did we have in this market? It's a 1-to-2 trade. Clearly another win, all right? And we have gold for Friday. Gold was one of the trades we got on Friday, right? So what is this market? So far, all right, this high, we need a change of character. So this is a trend. Do we have a break of structure? Okay, we have a break of structure into this move. So it's clearly in a move of a downtrend. Now, if it closes below this, it means we're going to sell. Okay, where are we selling to? This is our sell direction because why? This is the previous day low. Okay, and let's see this move. The only thing that's going to determine this move. Now, this is a very, very binded structure. A lot of people have issues. But one of the things I say from the Asian low, you want to track the trend. What is a trend? Two break of structure will determine a trend. Okay, and there is a change of character. Now, there can be a trend and no change of character. Okay, if you have situation, because if you look at this right now, this move created the high. Okay, now that high was taken out by this, but the candle didn't close. I don't think there is any candle that closed above this high. That would have been clear for every, yeah, no candle closed above this high, which means everything is just a rip-off. They just ripped it out. So this is clearly, still the high that was created by the lowest low, which means this is all the high, which means for us to change character for gold, we have to change character here. Okay, for that is for structure. But for trend, where the high was created, we now begin to look, is there a break of structure? You're going to find that, yes. Moving into this trade, there was a break of structure. Moving into this trade, there was a break of structure. What examines a trend? What? Two break of structure. It has to be clear. Okay. Now, we don't have a change of character, but we have internal structure. This market before this day had a bullish run. Okay. And this low created this, which clearly now says in the internal structure, market was bullish and a changed character, which means if we have to sell today, we have to sell below. And this trade clearly did what? Close below. Sorry, I know my line is a little bit tricky. All right. If we're doing this, this is clearly the first 15-minute candle closing below already gave us a trade. So this trade is actually what? An active sell. And this will be the last trade. What are we taking? Okay, we can take this because we dare not take this, all right, because that will be off grid. This changed character. So I can take this and I can target to the next day low, which actually just gave us what? A 1 to 2. How many do we have so far? We are 9 today. How many do we have so far? Okay, 9 wins, 11 days of trading, 9 wins, 2 losses. Do you guys need more story to tell you that this is something puts you at an edge? All right. Now, many of you may not understand the nitty-gritties of this break of structure. You may be new to it, but what's important is the outcome. If the outcome prevails, you now want to learn the nitty-gritties. Am I correct? The decision to learn and master this now, has it increased in you? Okay. Did anything look manipulative in what I've shared with you so far? Did I manipulate anything? It's still one structure, trend. If it's bullish, I buy across the. It's same structure. Did anything look manipulative? Did I manipulate anything to look in the direction of what I wanted? In fact, I was looking out for my losses. I wanted to lose. Okay. So if you want this, I don't need to teach you. I've already taught you. This is the course we did. So everything about the London Breaker Sniper, from the get-go, the concept, the raw, the different variation, because what I did was the plus, which is what I trade on. So there is the switch, the raw, the concept. Everything you need is in that course, the London Breaker Sniper course. Everything I did here right now, for you to understand the nitty-gritty, is in that course. Okay, so if you want to know what I am doing every day, you can't get it wrong. Okay, now what you can do is you can take this, take the course, go through it, go through 100 days. You find that you're winning over 70%. All you need to do is to be present in the market. That's why I told you guys something yesterday. So if gold breaks today, I am not sentimental. I'm just looking for my setup. I will take my setup because after the setup, you see, I just told you how many days? 11-day setup, 9 trade 1. I don't come every day to trade what I like. I trade my setup.
Because if you come back to if you take your trade, just like if we take today's trade, we're either going to win or lose. But when I told you guys out of every 20 trades, so do we need to go 20 before you guys know that we're going to win 14 now? Do we need to go 20? Should I go another 8 days back and we're not going to see 4? Are you guys confident that if we go 8 days back, we will see 4 or 5? So out of every 20 days, I am sure of 14 trades. That is if I don't manipulate the market. That is what we have. This is just one strategy. I did it on gold. You can actually do it on indices. You can do it on currency. Build your confidence by backtesting. But what do you need the backtest for? What do you need to do the backtest? Go get the strategy. Okay. And guess what? In this summit, they are going to be going over the strategies. All right. But have the tool for yourself. Have the different variations so you're locked in. All right. I just gave you guys a piece of what can make you money. You can shape the way you make money. The data don't lie. It means that's why we've been accurate. At least our gold, if you go back test our gold, the trades we've been calling, you can see gold is over 60-70% accurate. Okay. If you just could know, I don't need to teach you every day, but what can get you better? You see this simple variation of knowing those nitty-gritties. You may not get it in the beginning, but during our live session, I'll tell you, I'll break it down. People ask questions, I'll say, yeah, this is it. Those confusion on the break or structure, internal structure, you may have those things normal. Okay. Well, that is why just following, okay, I'll train. I'll tell you what to do. And we look at it together. I'll say, this is what to do. You get better. All right. Have you guys valued the time you guys joined today? So you guys know that don't play with the summit, because the summit will be going over the LBS, we're going over the approach to trading, the different approach, trend approach, price action approach, technical approach. Okay. We'll be going over market structure. So get the course before the summit. It will give you a very good invest in your money. Many of you want to make money, but you're not willing to commit investment in that money. That's gambling. If you're not willing to invest for the money you want to make, it means you're open to gambling. And only 2% out of 100% scale through in gambling. All right. And I don't believe a student that has made the decision to join here, you want to choose gambling. Okay. Any questions so far? How many of you are more confident that you're going to do well in this trading environment now with this template that I've given to you? This is just one of our strategy. And it's not the highest paying. So you guys know. It's not the highest paying, but it's a day trading strategy. Everybody should do this. That's why I say do LBS. Okay, do LBS. And guess what? I put it in I don't have to do session tomorrow, but I know that for many people, where they are coming from in trading, the ability to bring discipline into strategy is a difficult thing. People are not trained to be disciplined. They're just looking for the option of making money. Can you see that everything I showed you, I wasn't sentimental? How many of you can guarantee that? Was I sentimental in any kind of trade? The reason I got that result is because I wasn't sentimental. That is a trading setup. That's what portfolio means. It is based on setup, not emotions. And I based it on risk too. We almost got a loss. There was a part I wanted to be sentimental. I just wanted to count it as a loss. To tell you that even my sentiment is not to win. But I had to come back. Oh, rule. I wouldn't have taken this trade if it didn't give me the risk. And we avoided that. That is the same thing that happens every day. If you follow the setup, you would avoid nonsense. But many people don't have proper concept. And that's what all my strategies are. They are conceptual. It must carry direction, carry how to enter, and carry risk plan. So you cannot go wrong. Okay? And guess what? Don't beat yourself if you're going wrong in the beginning. It's just the presence of your present emotion and energy. It will shift over time through adaptive learning. Any question for me? That's about my time this morning. All right. I know we didn't do a lot because I cannot put a lot on you. You guys are coming from a lot, and I cannot load a lot on you so that you will go through a lot again. So please, okay. But I kind of sense that that's why I did this, to reduce the a lot. Because before this, you guys were in a lot. But I had to show you this resolve so that it could reduce that a lotness you guys are coming from. True or true? Because just going through those training and you guys like, but just showing you proof that, oh, this a lot that was deposited in me, this resolve reduced that a lotness. True or true? Okay, I'm a good coach. Am I a good coach? I do well in distribution of, because if you were just hearing those grammar, you just came into this environment, you're hearing those, this how to buy, how to sell, kind of like overwhelming. But something about your mind, when it sees process and it sees the need to take that overwhelming, it's reduced. And you know that, oh man, I need to know this thing. All right. But what will make a difference right now is after taking this allotness and you carry on to the next class without shedding weight, you go practice, go get the course, begin to practice. Don't forget what I said yesterday. It is very critical. Choose an accountability partner, 4, 5, within your circle. Tell them, let us begin to practice together. One thing you don't want to do, don't compromise instruction. Okay, do the instruction, go get the course. So find people who have gotten the course, say, I want you, let's be accountability partners within your groups. Okay, you can put within your groups. Now, if you don't create, find people, tell them, go get accountability partners. Say, we have I just watched the video. This video is out there, so you can send this video. See, watch this video. Tell me if you're interested in trading. This plan is open for us, and this is the journey I want to make. I want to know. I need a partner. I want to go with this on. All right. The journey to 6-figure trading over the next 2 years is plainly given to us. Question is, are you ready? I need 2 people, 3 people who are going to be ready. If you have, see, you can go on a hunt for accountability partners, or you can look within your circle. If you guys are already in circle, find 2, 3 people that can do the same thing you're doing. Okay, and say, let's be accountable to ourselves so that we can, in a unit, be accountable to Mr. Kenvry, because that will help you. By the time you're going through your back testing and they go through their back test and you come and you hold sessions together and say, oh, I went through a back test of this thing, Mr. Kenvry did 100 trades and I got 65. How many did you get? Okay. Or you just give your task. You go do your back test. I'll do my back test. Let's come. So you find mistakes because you guys will come with different numbers and say, oh, you now go through it in a live session. Okay. And guess what? If you're still confused, you can let us know if you guys are in the accountability group. Say, we went through this. I got this number. I got this number. See, we've done that before. All right. And I'll tell you, what are your numbers? What are your numbers? We go through it so that you guys can see your mistakes. Does that make sense? You can't remain the same if you follow through proofing, back rolling. Okay. You can't go wrong, but you need a team. If you're doing it alone, you'll be second guessing yourself. You'll be okay, did I do it right? But by the time you find other people do it, you now iron sharpened iron. All right. Let's do different. There is money in trading. And don't give excuse of capital. The capital is not really the problem. Just imagine you have a $300 account and you traded over the last 11 days. Okay, well, gold, the $300 for gold is gambling anyway. Okay, but let's even say, oh, because of this, you decided to say, I've done there's 100 trades, I won 70. Okay, out of every 20 I win, I will just, this $300, I just want to break the risk into 20 days. Whatever the risk is, I will commit. That's high risk. But that high risk is based on numbers. If you lose it, fine. You tell yourself, fine. The chances that you can gold, I just told you, 50 pips is $50. So $200 can cut 4 trades safe. If you lose 4 trades, you're out. All right. That is if it's 50 pips. But some of the trades we took somewhere 25, 30. The average was around 35 something. Okay. So that's why I don't like to go above, because gold is a high volatile pair. Any question, any trading question, any update question you guys want to ask? I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Next session is tomorrow, but tomorrow is not a free session. So now that I've given you guys free tip, okay, I want to know you guys are ready to commit to my learning. Every session that I hold is 2 SP. Okay, was this worth if you had paid $2 for this, was it worth it? All right. What does ring it? Okay. Euro USD. So Euro USD is about to close below. Okay. What's the time? It still has 11 minutes. Okay. Okay, so Euro USD, I'm also going to call Euro USD for those who some people, they have Euro USD portfolio. If it close, I'll call it. All right, that's what I just got an alarm on. It's about to close below. Elijah Solomon, status is changing. Sorry. Yes. What is the yes for? Was it worth it? Okay, you said yes, but some of us are lost. Please go find yourself. All right, you're not lost. And another thing I want you guys to do when you come on my session, change your language. Okay, I would always remind you, you are a product of what you say you are, what you say you do. I can't change that no matter what I expose you to. If you say you are lost, you're definite. Okay, if you say you're lost, you're definite. You're being definite. It means you've positioned yourself. You have your words are powerful. So don't say you are lost. Don't never confess what you don't want, because that's a confession. Be very careful. You move in the direction of your words. Your words are replica of your thoughts. Okay, and you become what you think. So a better language will be, wow, I'm getting used to this. It is new to me, but I'd love to get used to this. I would love, it means you're confessing what you want. Okay. That communicated the same thing. True or true? What I just said now communicated the same thing. This is new to me. All right. The understanding is still coming up. I would love to know this. You just said the same thing that communicated your law. That is the language. I mean, if your language, if your vocabulary changes, it shows that you are moving in the direction of what you want rather than what you don't want. Okay. And to answer your question, the reason you feel the way you all feel lost is because you are new to this and you have not started following the instructions of what I gave. If you follow my instructions, you cannot feel this way. So I said, I just showed you what we did. You are new to it. You can, it is for you to expect to understand this, you're not trained. For you to even expect to understand your first session, if you're not new to this, you're not trained. Your expectation is on the wrong side. What you're supposed to do is experience and pick the person. Wow, there was clarity as if I make the decision to learn, there was clarity of where I would go, where I would be, how I would go about it. There's clarity. There is direction, there is concept. Everything I need is here. Trying to force your understanding is one of the bad things we do in learning. Why do you think you would understand something that has taken me 8 years to create? Isn't that a gamble in expectation? True or true? Be honest with me, every one of you. To seek understanding in an experience you've never been exposed to, is that gambling? That's why I said a lot of people don't know how to learn. The first stage is to experience it, to find the concept. Can I learn this? Yes. So I want to ask you, Mr. Solomon, can you learn this from the guides or what I've shown you? Is there a place you can learn this? Have I shown you how you can learn this? So what? I don't need understanding. I just have to learn. If I learn, I would understand. If I experience learning, I'll understand. Don't try to understand what your mind is not maturely trained. Okay? That you need to trim your expectation. Be very careful. There was a training I did on expectation. If you find it on my YouTube, I don't know if I did it on my YouTube. See, your biggest enemy in your growing phase is your expectation. It's one of your biggest enemy. That's why when I trade, I don't have an expectation to win. You cannot kill a person that does not have, you cannot offend a person that does not have an expectation on you. All right. So put your expectation on check. So I have expectations on learning. And I leave my expectation on earning in my learning. If I learn right, I will earn right. So I don't have to expect to earn right if I don't learn right. So I leave the energy, my expectation. I ask myself, how many videos have I watched today? Have I gotten the course? So if I've not gotten the course and I don't have money for it, I keep my expectation on how I'm going to get the money, not what I'm not getting. Period. That is how resolved I am. All right. My expectation is my weapon. I don't want to give it to the enemy to weaponize it for me. So I weaponize it on what I know I can do. I don't care about what I cannot do. What can I do? I need to go learn. I can learn. So I go learn. I know that Henry said if I watch this video, okay, and I practice it, I will get somewhere. And he also said that if I'm not getting somewhere, if I'm accountable, if I ask questions, he will train me. I already have what I need now, don't I? Am I correct? It means if I learn, somebody will train me, someone will tell me what to do. If I make a mistake, it will guide me. What else do I need? Stop loading. See, many of you load too much because of your expectation. You think you need $200 from this market because of your rent. The market does not owe you anything. It never will. It won't. So take your expectation, your burdens. Oh, I've bought an account. I need to start making money. The market does not know your account. Keep every expectation off. Have a trading routine, a trading journal. Many of you are here right now. You did not write anything down as a plan. As if you leave this session now, you have no plan. If I ask a question, do you have a plan after this class? Many of you don't. That's because you don't know how to learn. Because for every session, you should have a plan out of the session. These things you said, what did I say in the beginning? Follow instructions. Did you write the things I said and you now create a plan? Now you may say, okay, if you write those things down, I'm not going to go off the session and I will not plan. That's a plan. Okay, I'm going to start with this course. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I get my accountability partner 3. Do you have a plan? That is how to learn. Okay. If you guys have no question, I'll stop talking. All right. But it's been another wonderful session. I hope you guys got value. I'm going to see those of you making a decision. You join my class. All right. Tomorrow, I'm going to be breaking down a higher form of, we're going to be looking at price action. We're going to be looking at trend shift. Okay. In our other sessions. For those of you going to join, I congratulate you for making the decision. But if not, anyone who has brought you here, okay, has told you there is value. If you saw value, take action. But if you did not see value, congratulations and thank you and I appreciate you for coming. Okay, we're going to keep